Good morning, folks. Today we're going to find out, can you actually climb, can you hike Mount Cheam, let's call it Mount Cheam, without a 4x4 vehicle? Can you park your car and then walk up the Forestry road, past the SUVs, past the 4x4s and Jeeps, and just head right up to the trailhead on foot? Is it doable? I'm going to find out. I've just come up this Forestry road, and it was not paved, but it was not a bad ride for my car. And now I've come up to the actual serious off-road road. And so I've parked my car. I'll show you where that is and what that looks like. So you can see a sign there that says Chipmunk Forest Service Road. And this is sort of the marker that lets you know that the road is about to get pretty rough. Right away you can see a big gully in the road there. And if it means anything, you've got an old trail sign here, Mount Cheam Trail Open. All right, and it's marked with a snowmobile symbol. So this obviously gets used in the winter as well. I've parked my car up here by a strange little clearing. I'll show you that next. So there's the sign that I just showed you. And here's the clearing that I mentioned. It's got a fake deer in the middle. So I don't know what the story behind that is, but obviously some people have enjoyed this space. You can see the remains of more fire, graffiti. Is that intended to be bear bait? I'm not sure, but whatever the case, that's it. So we've got a trail here. That's interesting. I'm going to continue up the road and hopefully that is correct. Hopefully this is not the actual trail. Well, the time is 11:52 and I made it to the trailhead a lot faster than I would have on foot because I got a ride from a couple of kind people, Jonathan and Melissa. Thank you so much. Get rid of that fly there. So you can see by the vehicle, actually I'll give you a better look at the vehicles that have made it up to the top here, but you'll see nothing too small. It's a pretty wild road coming up. And I see coming up a smaller vehicle than one we have up here. Looks like a RAV4. They've done a nice job making it this far. So these are the vehicles that have made it up. And there's the beast that took me up. This appears to be the official start of the trail. Here we go. It's just a few minutes in, but I can see down here, you've got some water refill options. It's kind of nice. I mean, hopefully this far into the hike, you haven't exhausted your water supply just yet. Okay, we're feels like 10 or 15 minutes in. I'm gonna try to pick up my pole here. And as advertised, we're doing a little bit of a downturn here into a meadow, which is fine, but whatever comes down has to go back up. So there's that. All right, here's a look at what I've done so far. You can actually see a vehicle coming up the road way down there. But one thing I forgot to record is you'll get to a junction a little further down the slope, a little behind me. Make sure you take the right hand turn, don't take the left. Let's see if I can find that car again. Always behind the trees. Okay, so you'll get to a point on the mountain where it's pretty flat actually. Good chance to catch your breath, look around, take some shots, grab some water, and then, okay, I can feel it picking up a little again. The ascent has resumed. Still not too savage. No grouse grind-esque ascents here so far. We're at about the 45-minute mark, and we just passed through some tree cover back into the open. Saw, yeah, there's some paths down there and a few fire pits around, so I would say people have camped in this area. Very, very pretty. I can see the appeal. You'd have some nice sunsets and definitely you'd be all alone. Yeah, I see more fire pits right there. Yeah. And looks like the trail. Oh, hi there. Hi there. Looks like the trail is taking us up there. Well, at the 1 hour mark. So I'm calling this an apple break. So far so good. Yeah, I'm not in peak season form yet, but nothing too steep, not too steep an ascent. Bugs are definitely out, but they haven't been too savage. You can probably hear there's a bit of a breeze, which helps, and yeah, it's not too hot either, so I don't really not feeling too badly beaten by the sun yet. So 1 hour in the books, and this is kind of where I've come from, and I'll try to show you where I'm going as well. So this is the current view ahead, and yeah, we'll see how far we can look from the summit. The time is 1:20. I'm about 80 minutes into the hike, and I can see a lake off to my right that is probably cultists. I think this is probably Chilliwack Lake. That's my guess. I'll have to look it up later. Well, I'm about 90 minutes in. The time is 1:30, and this is interesting. Somebody's made a shelter from the elements. Wow. Wow. Ooh. There's the freezer. The muddy freezer. Not sure what that is over there. Chilliwack. Looking toward Abbotsford. Incredible. This apparently is Harrison Lake, and we'll see if we can view Chilliwack Lake from the peak. Apparently the lake I was calling Chilliwack Lake is actually Jones Lake. Well, I can't believe it, but I've made it to the peak. Now, I thought I was going really slowly, so this is encouragement to any of you who don't consider yourself a master hiker or a speedy hiker. I took it nice and slow with a couple breaks, and I am here in 1 hour 40 minutes. I will I'll give you, let's say this, I'll give you a proper 360 without the selfie and just to let you take this in. Alright, starting in that direction, I understand that is Jones Lake. This is a neighboring peak. Don't know what it is, but you see it all the way in. Not all the way in, but you see it from the logging road, from the Forestry road. That's the direction I came in. That's the direction of the trail down there. In that direction, on the horizon, one of those peaks is McFarlane, which I've hiked before. Highly recommend. That is a full day hike. And then this is the Fraser Valley. So you can see again the Fraser, the muddy Fraser there, the Chilliwack farmlands, and Abbotsford, and apparently on a clear day you can see the ocean on the coast. Sadly, we've got a few too many clouds. Trek down, and I assume it will include the Forestry road. There's what I understand is the Lady Peak. Off we go. If you're up here off of foolish, you may want to keep it close to you. There are some edges here that are unforgiving. Alright, I've had a good look at the top of Mount Cheam, and now I'm headed back down to the car. I'm not sure if I'll have a ride down the Forestry Road or not. Time is 2:20. Let's see how this goes. Hoping, if the time is close to 2:30 now, I'm hoping to be back at the trailhead at 3:30. Let's see if I can do it that quickly. It might require some jogging. Okay, well, I'm back here, and I think from here it was an hour coming up, so hopefully I can cut that down to 30 or 40. Time is 2:40. So, doing pretty well. Unlike other beast hikes I've done in BC, in the lower mainland, this one you could jog down large portions of it. So, you can really shave some time off if you want to. Time is 2:47, and we're in another jogging section, so I'm putting my phone away. Time is 2:57, and I'm back at this point, which, if memory serves correctly, is about 15 minutes into the hike. So I think I will indeed get back to the trailhead within an hour. We'll see. Let's see if I can do it. In case you're wondering, if you're like me, you're wondering, I would call this little pond not swimmable. Water is fairly green and not really moving, no flow, but it does look inviting, and it looks like others have gone in for a dip. The time is 3:09, and I feel like the trailhead is just about around this corner. Giving it about 5 minutes. What a beautiful hike. All right, we are back at the parking lot at 3:17, just under an hour. I did it from the peak all the way back to the trailhead. I am going to water up and then start the long walk back down the Forestry road, and we'll see if I get picked up. I'm okay either way. This was the truck that picked me up on the way up. 1 minute onto the Forestry road, thank you God. Here's some of the stuff you have to drive through in your vehicle. Not easy. I just passed a Range Rover going up. They seem to be making it okay. Right now, my views are a lot of this. Gravel, logging road, and beautiful horizon. Well, the time is 4:47, and I made excellent time because my friends Jonathan and Melissa, shout out to them, in the great big truck, came up behind me and once again gave me a ride back down the mountain. So, you know, I was pretty committed to driving, or rather walking, hiking all the way back down the Forestry road, but they saved me a lot of time, and just sitting in the back of their truck and having some good conversation in the air conditioning, no regrets there. So here we go, back to Chilliwack Lake Road. And in the video, I'm going to have to take a look at the map, do some research, and sort of figure out how to distinguish for you the Forestry road from the Forestry road, because I'm on gravel right now, but this is the really good stuff. This is cream, as we used to call it in tree planting days. This is a good surface, and any car can handle it, no problem. But when you get to that turnoff that I showed you earlier, where I think it's called the Chipmunk Forestry Road or something like that, that's a no-go for any sedan, any car like mine. That is an absolute no-go. And even with a truck or a larger vehicle, it's going to do a beating. It's going to give your vehicle a beating. So keep that in mind, and I'll check back in once we're at the Chilliwack Lake Road. I want to keep both hands on the wheel here as I take some of these blind corners. All right. So back to the map. You are here. This is here. I'm at the turnoff. Again, this is sort of the beginning of the nicer part of the Forestry road, the service road. This is the Chilliwack Lake Road that is paved. And I'll show you what I just did. So we drove up here, and I guess Chipmunk Creek FSR, Forestry Service Road, and then it becomes 4x4. So I guess the whole thing, and then you're hiking up here. So I guess the whole thing is technically a forest road from where I am all the way into the trailhead. But there is a big difference between this section and this section. I hope that makes sense. Okay, there it is. This is the Chilliwack River Valley. Friends, I think that's it from me for this hike. Again, Mount Cheam was a long-held aspiration for me, so I finally realized it today, and I'm very happy to have taken in those sights. And I hope you enjoyed the hike. I hope my report and breakdown was helpful for you. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more hikes in supernatural British Columbia. Take care. Bye-bye.